A person is recorded as missing every 2 minutes in the UK. Of those, 79% who go missing will return or be found within 24 hours. Just 2% are found within a week. The rest have never been found. Missing Mysteries presents the case of James Nutley. 11 p.m, Sunday the 24th of October 2004, Tenby, South Wales. A dark and windy night with gale force winds, dry with a temperature of around 11 degrees. James Nutley is spending time away with his friends in Tenby during what was stated as an annual golfing trip. The group of approximately 20 friends was staying in the Chepstow Hotel. After finishing drinks in the Prince of Wales pub, James headed through the arcade, up along Upper Frog Street and South Parade and was never seen again. Here, the missing mystery case of James Nutley begins. Personality. James previously worked at St Pierre Golf Club in Chepstow as an assistant pro before travelling the UK selling golf equipment to clubs. A talented player, James won Ian Woosnam's Cannes French Open when he was just 17 and was presented with the top prize by the Welsh legend. He also won the Junior Club Championship at the Celtic Manor and wanted to become a professional player. James's father said he loved his job so much, he would go and play on the best courses, and he came back with some really good stories. James was described by friends as being popular and well known among the golfing circle in South Wales. He was a really good player. He played for Wales when he was younger, said Mr. Partridge. Everyone knew him. He was a typical nice guy and people are still wondering about him to this day. Family. James's parents are Catherine and Jeff Nutley, and he also had a sister called Helen, whom he had a great relationship with, and they are a very close family. Along with other members of the family, his parents made a trip to Tenby, something they have done every anniversary for the past decade. Description. James Nutley, a 25-year-old man at the time of his disappearance, was described as being 6 foot 2 inches tall, with brown hair and blue eyes. On the day of his disappearance, James was wearing a white top with blue sleeves and blue jeans. James's uncle also stated that James was wearing an animal wristwatch and was also carrying his Samsung E700 mobile phone. When James's friends realised he had not returned to the hotel during the night out, they raised their concerns with the police, and by this time it was the following day. Timeline. James travels to Tenby with friends after coming from his hometown in Caldecott, Monmouthshire in South Wales. Tenby is a popular harbour town and resort surrounded by a medieval wall with a population of around 5,500 people. It is renowned for its glowing golden sands, as well as quaint cobbly streets filled with pubs, restaurants and arcades. 5 to 5:30 p.m. James arrived and had settled into his hotel, the Chepstow, with some friends while the rest of the group settled into their hotels respectively. Throughout the evening, James visited a total of 3 pubs in the town centre, the Lifeboat Inn on Tudor Square, the 3 marinas on George Street, and then the Prince of Wales. 11 p.m. to 12 midnight. James left the Prince of Wales pub in Upper Frog Street to head back to his hotel, the Chepstow, unaccompanied as he wanted to get back as he knew he was playing golf in the morning. James left the Upper Frog Street's Prince of Wales pub to go back to the pub, but he did not get to the front door of the hotel. 11:57 p.m. His last known whereabouts were captured by CCTV cameras as he was crossing the road towards the Atlantic Hotel. In the footage, 6 people can be seen walking along the pavement past the hotel, around 10 to 15 metres away from James. James's father said, on the CCTV he is leaning as if he is going into the road. It's 30 paces from there to the door of the hotel. James was never seen again. 25th of October 2004, a day later. A group of children are playing around on South Beach and discover what was later confirmed as James's personal belongings, which included his driving licence, national insurance card, Euro golf card and Paddy Power bookmaker's card directly below the Clarence Hotel on the Esplanade. Despite them being found on the beach, there was no evidence to suggest they'd been washed up from the sea. CCTV. A large-scale police search with dogs was carried out along with helicopters with heat-seeking cameras, abseilers and the Coastguard were all used in the hunt. But his parents do not believe he could have fallen into the sea from where police sniffer dogs trace his last whereabouts. James's father said, "There are gardens along where they think he was. The place where he was, he couldn't have possibly gone into the water." He also said the CCTV shows him stepping off of the pavement right across from his hotel and the sea was behind him. The family say they were not shown CCTV footage of James on the night of his disappearance until 22 months after he was reported missing. James's mother said, "We saw the footage for the first time in August 2006. You could see people walking in front of him, but they could have been a minute or so in front of him. Police never found anyone who saw him that night." James's father added, "We saw the one CCTV footage which had a white car in it, and then we were sent the same footage but without the car in it." The search. Jeff, James's father, stated, "They took it that he was in the water, that anything that goes missing in a force 8 gale had landed in the water. They assumed that was what happened." Dyfed Powys Police spent 8 days searching buildings, coastline and beaches before stopping the physical search on November the 1st. James's mum said police went down the road. They were trying to say, did he commit suicide? But if he wanted to do that, he'd have gone to the Severn Bridge. He was so close to that hotel, it's just unbelievable. Jeff said police expected James to be washed up in 6 weeks after his disappearance on a returning tide. "We were on edge waiting for 6 weeks and nothing happened," the retired coach firm boss said. They had half a dozen calls about remains and all were false alarms. The police called them on finding a size 9 shoe even though that wasn't his size. James's face featured on milk bottles in Iceland, the supermarket, to raise awareness as part of a scheme by a National Missing Persons Helpline charity in November 2005, but the campaign didn't produce any new leads. False reports and sightings. The family were notified of a female's body being found in Tenby and a bone which was found on November the 13th, 2005 from an arm of an adult between the age of 20 and 50 in Kevin Sedam Beach in Carmarthenshire. Also, in November 2006, James's mother and father received a reported sighting notification from a man who knew the family. The man was said to have been having a driving lesson in Caldicot, Monmouthshire, where James lives, and said, "I saw Nutley." He said that he thought he saw him drive past a crossroad in the area, driving in an old battered car, and then he was gone. He didn't know what colour or model the car was, and no further information was received or obtained following this, despite Jeff searching for James every day for 5 days straight, putting up posters in local shops and pubs to ask if anyone had spotted him, but nothing came of it. Jeff stated it was only a glance, maybe it was him, maybe it wasn't him. He could have been in Monmouth and then moved on, we just don't know. This sighting is to be the only reported sighting of James following his disappearance. In 2006, Milford Haven's Richard Fairbrass, then 42, was jailed for 27 months after pleading guilty to trying to pervert the course of justice. He admitted lying about killing James and throwing his body off of Staff Rocks in Pembrokeshire. Timeline review. October 24th, 2004, between 5 and 5:30 p.m, James Nutley and friends arrive in Tenby. The same day at 11:40 p.m, James leaves the Prince of Wales pub in Upper Frog Street. At 11:57 p.m, James was captured on CCTV crossing the road towards the Atlantic Hotel. October 25th, James's friends report him missing. The same day, James's belongings, including his driving licence, were found on Tenby's South Beach, directly below the Clarence Hotel on the Esplanade. October the 26th, Coastguards searched the cliffs in Tenby. October the 27th, further sea searches were carried out by the Coastguard. November the 1st, 2004, Dyfed Powys Police stopped their physical search. In July 2005, a website was set up for James called findjamesnutley.com. On October 28, 2005, friends of James arrange a fundraising golf day at St Pierre. Later in October 2005, James's face is featured on milk bottles as part of Iceland's supermarket campaign. November the 13th, 2005, Dyfed Powys Police find a bone from an arm of an adult aged between 20 and 50 in Cefn Beach in Carmarthenshire. And then, in January 2006, the family were told there was no link between the bone found and James. Then, come March 2006, a campaign with 2,000 posters were printed and posted nationwide. In June 2006, a man was jailed for 27 months for perverting the course of justice after claiming to have harmed James. In October 2006, the Nutleys offer a £5,000 reward for information leading to the whereabouts of James. And then in November 2006, the sighting of James in Monmouth is proven to be false. On March 24, 2008, Missing Wales Race Day is held at Chepstow Racecourse to raise awareness. And then the Nutleys appear on BBC's Missing Live October 2014, and they face the 10th anniversary without him. It has now been 15 years since the disappearance of James. There has been no further updates or any other information regarding leads to finding James. It is such a bizarre case, and I myself am completely unsure as to what might have happened to James. I can only speculate the possibility of James either being abducted or coming across either a dangerous person or a group of dangerous people, especially knowing that in one frame of the CCTV there was a white car, and then later to be shown the car no longer present. A part of me thinks that it may be possible that James might have fallen into the sea off of the cliffs, or where he was under the influence of alcohol, lost his bearings and got lost and ended up getting injured. However, the police searches brought nothing forward, and we are yet completely unaware of what's happened to him. James, if you are seeing this, please contact missingpeople.org.uk so they know that you're okay and they can let your family know. If anyone knows of James's whereabouts or has any information relating to his disappearance, whether big or small, please contact Dyfed Powys Police on 101. If you would prefer to remain anonymous, please phone Crimestoppers on 0800 555 111. Alternatively, Missing People Charity run a 24/7 helpline where you can phone or text 116 000, quoting the reference 04 007 533.